Welcome to my shop. That's a sign I get to look at every day when I do walk in here. Lately I've only been able to get here on weekends because my real job that allows me to come back here and do things has kept me pretty busy for a change. It's just a little reminder that nothing here is computer controlled. Everything is controlled by me, whether it be a power tool or a hand tool. And so if there's any mistakes made, it's on me. There's nobody else to blame. So we'll start off with the bench here. I have some new planes that I've gotten recently that are ready for restoration and use. I'm not a collector. When I get a tool, I intend to use it. And I've been doing a little bit more with hand tools. As I get older, I get a little more appreciation for them. And quite frankly, there's a lot of times when the hand tool actually works faster than the power tool and does a nicer job. Everything in the shop has been designed and built by myself for my purposes. They may not fit the bill for somebody else to work, but that's not my problem. I built them for me. My bench is a full 4x8 top, and you see I do have dog holes. If at any point you have questions about any of this, feel free to email me and I'll try to clarify anything that you may not understand. I have a full set of drawers along with power in the bench so that I can reduce the use of extension cords. And you notice I got labels on everything. I have a little problem with CRS, which for the uninitiated is can't remember, and then you can fill in your own word there. Some of my clamps. Hardware storage. The beginning of my cut bench. I have some projects sitting up there right now that are in various stages of completion. I keep some of my benchtop tools on sliding drawers underneath this particular area. My chop saw, which I hope to upgrade someday to a Bosch. The old radial arm saw, which doesn't see much use nowadays, but I've had that thing forever and I'll probably always have it. Next we come over to the router station. I've got full air filtration along with the piping that you see going to dust collection. My little drill press there. That little bump in the wall, that's where the dust collector lives. Bandsaw. And you'll notice I've got wood stashed in just about every nook and cranny I can find. Good wood's pretty expensive, and I try not to waste any of it. And every once in a while I stumble on a really good deal with something and then I can't turn it down. There's pretty much nothing in here that I don't actually have a plan for. This is the bandsaw, the thickness planer. And then that one rolling cabinet there with my grandfather's machinist chest on top. I found that a lot of the tools that he used as a metal machinist still work over and get used for woodworking. This is my larger lathe. Now this cabinet here was actually made by my stepdad back in the 1950s out of redwood plywood. And you can see that between my grandfather and my great-grandfather was also a woodworker and made some pretty nice furniture. There's a lot of craft skills that run in the family. My mother was a crafter. Her stuff was more in the dry floral arrangements and that venue. We get to the all-important fridge and microwave here. Some of my finishing goodies. You can see things are pretty well organized here. Some people will tell you that I'm quite anal about it, but I forget where things are sometimes, and having them out in the open where I can just lay my hands on them is the best way to do things for me. Hopefully I'm not making you too ill in my camera work here. I am obviously not a professional photographer by any stretch of the imagination. Hopefully my videos will get better as they go. Actually right now I'm just trying to get this one done so that I can get back to work in here, because this place is obscenely clean right now. I normally keep a fairly clean shop, but I spent the last 2 weeks going through things and doing a lot of detail cleaning just for this purpose, and along the way I found all sorts of things that I've been meaning to do, and I decided I better well go ahead and do them. Alright, you give me just a minute here and I'll get the camera moved into the office and small turning area and let you have a peek at that, and I'll see you here in a second. That little sign's pretty accurate, except when it's not. But moving on, pull out here, we're into the office slash small turning area. And to the left here we have my sharpening area, and then over yonder some storage. More of my handy dandy little drawers that are all over the place. I've got something on the order of 150 drawers in here. I've got to have those labels in order to remember where I put things. Yes, that's a toaster oven, but it's actually not for cooking food. It's actually for drying small pieces of wood. That's the small turning area. And of course we have my lovely camera work here. Moving on, that actually used to be a recliner and a reading light and everything else there, and when I started doing more turning and getting more into some of the smaller stuff, using the big lathe for that didn't seem like such a great idea. So I got rid of the chair and built a storage area for the small parts, and slowly but surely got all the goodies I needed to be able to have just a small area for making them, including even cutting my blanks. That way I don't even have to crank up the lights in the main shop if all I'm going to do is turn some pens or bottle stoppers or other small items like that. So it saves me some money and saves the mess in the main shop, plus at the same time I can have some flat work going out in the main shop, and if I need to take a break from that and put my mind on something else, I can come in here and do some turning. I have a few pen blanks. And although I do have a cable box there, I never did bother to hook it up. Basically, I use the TV for my video library. Pick up nifty little goodies every once in a while, learn some new things. And if I have friends come over that wants to watch one of the videos, they can kick back, relax, and watch videos on there. I do have my own power sub panel out here. I have 40 circuit breakers for this shop. So there's very little chance of overloading anything. One of the several fire extinguishers and the all-important first aid kit, which I'm happy to say that I've only opened twice in about the last 5 years. I try to do things pretty carefully around here and not damage myself. I do a good enough job of that out with my regular job repairing swimming pools and hot tubs. So I do a pretty good job of taking care of me in here. The back of my handy dandy bookshelf that is actually full to the brim. And my desk area to where I do all sorts of stuff. And basically Yosemite Sam there pretty much says it all. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Don't bother whining about it. You're not going to get anywhere. You don't have to like everything that I do. I don't like everything I do. And sometimes I do things custom for people. It's just for them. I do have internet access and use it quite frequently out here. And that pretty much wraps up the shop tour. Hopefully I didn't make you too ill with my camera work, but that you got to see what you wanted to see. If you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of me. I'm not hard to find. Everybody have a great day.